Is family just blood or is it something more? In this episode, we take a deep dive into the true meaning of family, sharing surprising personal stories and challenging the conventional idea of who belongs in your inner circle. From lifelong friendships to unexpected mentors, this episode will make you rethink who your real family is. Let's explore what family truly means beyond the traditional definition of family. Now, I welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen, to the Larson Legacy Studio. Thank you for being a part of this episode of My Day, My Story podcast. On behalf of my executive producer, Brian Olubumi Larson, and myself, MC par excellence, your host, the Odimde Mokuri Akpero Jamaye, Omababagbobani himself. Let's go into this episode. When God created the universe and spoke powerfully by his divine wisdom and authority, he made a proclamation in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground. In essence, God got the family ball rolling by giving his permission for the creation of families. And that's what we're talking about today. So now you understand why I always introduce myself as Odimde Mokuri Akpero Jamaye Omababagbobani Boyinbo himself. I have told you about something my father and many generations before him is all about. In the same vein, whenever I introduce Brian Olubumi Larson, our executive producer at Larson Legacy Studio, of My Day, My Story podcast, I am telling a story about the future. So, this six-letter word family lends itself to unfathomable meanings and interpretations. For example, if I ask you a simple question that who is your family? And you start mentioning your wife or your husband, your parents, children, siblings, cousins, uncles, and aunties, I will shock you by taking you back to the drawing board and ask a follow-up question. How did you get to meet these people? Your answer may surprise even yourself because you may need to dig deeper than you imagined. Before I tried so hard to take on this difficult subject matter, I considered those I look at as my family in the past. In the past 80 and almost 8 years in the land of the living, and you'll be surprised to learn about who I consider to be family and those who declare themselves as my family. Let me preface my description of the word family by confessing that a few years ago, one of my nephew's wife, during one of our casual conversations, declared that family is first or family is number one, something along that line. I didn't think much of that statement as a deep, earth-shattering statement until I started reflecting on it through the importance of sudden occurrences in my life experiences. So, here's a brief list of who I consider, quote-unquote, family. Number one, that Urobo boss of mine at Barclays Bank, Ile-Ife, back in the early 70s, who gave me countless rides to Ondo Town. Yes, it was called Ondo Town then, but now it's called Ondo City, of which I am proud to be a citizen of Ondo City. So, on weekends, we will go to parties, and in Ondo City, we will party like there is no tomorrow. He saved me what we referred to then as transport fare, and was always willing to hang around until Sunday evenings when we return to Ile-Ife to continue our daily grind at Barclays Bank on Rema Road. Number two, that Egbon me, the 80-year-old Egbon, who I consider the sharpest knife in the drawer and have always referred to as my mentor, who I always strive to emulate in the academic areas of life. And then his younger brother that I learned everything from, that we were always, always corrected about in our growing years. You all know who you are in this episode. Now, number 3, that Onyibo supervisor of mine at Carbon Technologies near Kingston at the University of Rhode Island, whose red Chevy pickup truck was made available to me when I was relocating from Wakefield to Providence, Rhode Island. Number 4, that former schoolmate and friend of mine who lends a listening ear to private matters of personal challenges in my life and offers solutions. Number 5, are you ready for this? I consider that Onyibo chairman of several successful Forbes 50 best companies in the U.S., who almost called me a member of his family if I wasn't, of this brown skin. And he actually paid for my IT certification that led to my employment as a systems administrator in the number 1 commodities trading advisory company, a CTA, in those years. Now, number 6, the gentleman who I referred to as the mayor of Park Heights in one of our episodes, past episodes, you can refer to that on our page, who is an authentic brother from another mother and has been that personality in my life for the past 36 years and counting. Number 7, now this is probably going to blow your mind. I consider that young African-American chap who was livid that a friend of his from a New England state came all the way to my state of residence to do business with me, who he refers to as his uncle. Yes, that is me as his uncle. But I never met him until about 5 years ago. He, rebuked his friend that he came to our state without informing him that he was coming to his uncle to do business. Hooray, Amade Shenko. So, who do you consider to be your family in the deepest sense of that 6-letter word? Give examples in the comment section of this video, and we'll use them in the next production of this family series at My Day, My Story podcast. If we use your example, we will make sure that you get a prize. Now, on behalf of the executive producer, Brian Olubumilaso, and everyone of the crew at My Day, My Story podcast, I am your host, MC par excellence, and we'll see you on our next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, share, comment, and like this video. God bless you. Until we meet again, God bless. I'm MC par excellence. Thanks for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.